Hello, my name's Samantha Roberts, and I'm going to talk to you about whether you should read regular books or you should read, ebooks, and what kind of device is the best kind of device to use. Well, ever since I was a little girl, I've always loved reading. It took me a little while to really get into reading, but eventually I just utterly loved books. All kinds of books. But the problem is that where are you going to put them all? I had over hundreds of books. I think I had like 150 books, but I had nowhere to put them all. And when you move and move and move, it takes up a lot of space. Moving from one side of the country to the other side of the country, where are you going to put them all? So what I ended up doing was I ended up getting me an e-reader, in which I now have over 500 books on my e-reader device, my wonderful e-reader. Well, as you can think about it, yes, regular books, there's always a love for them. There's always that smell, that texture, that need to flip a page and being easily able to go back and forth. That's always a love, but I've always had a problem with books. I have cats, and I have had dogs, and they've always had a tendency to ruin my books. Cats scratch at them, dogs accidentally pee on them, sometimes, the humidity, the scratching, it's not that great. Spill something, and the book gets all warped. But e-readers and e-books, where are you going to put them? They're all on the computer. They all fit right in this itty-bitty device, all right in here. And you can back them up, you can store them. Yes, if you spill water on most of the devices, you can ruin them. And that's not a good thing. But you can log how long it takes you to read. You can do all kinds of stuff. Regular books, you don't know how long it takes you to read a 200-page book. But with this one, you can. And the device, it can last up to 2 months with being able to read it. When you look at it, there's different types. There's Kobo, which is a European-based one. There's Nook, which is through Barnes & Noble. And then there's the Kindle, which is through Amazon. Now, there are different types, different varieties, different versions. But they all kind of have a similar aspect. You can store them all on the device. You can, they have different aspects. Some have bigger screens, some have smaller screens. But most Kindles, Nooks, and Kobos are e-ink, which means they're not LCD light. They're black-white light. So they resemble actual text. As you can see, it looks like an actual textbook, like an actual page. As we get older and into, going through school, it's a lot easier to store, you're in college, you have 50 textbooks. Those things are heavy. Put them all in here. And as you can see, it works. Most of the newer devices have lights, like this one does, which makes it to where you can read at night, which is great, but you can monitor your page numbers. There's a store on here where you can go, Wi-Fi connection. The Nooks have 3G ability, so it's a little easier, so you don't have to rely on Wi-Fi. But the one thing that I love about Kobo that most of the e-readers don't have is it has a little SD spot to where you can put multiples and multiples of books on it, and it's a lot easier. Now, this is a Kobo Aria, which is a wonderful device, but there's a newer one, a slightly newer version, which is a Kobo Aria H2O. You can read that in the bathtub, you could take it to the beach. It's wonderful, and it doesn't damage it like most books, most e-readers, which is great. And it's getting a lot better as the devices get older and a lot more technological. It's fabulous. But this one specifically, I've always loved Kobo. When I got with them when they were first at Borders, which was awesome. But as I suggested, regular books are great. Yes, there are different devices, and you can pick which one you feel is best. But I believe that Kobo's the best. It stores a lot more books because you can put an SD card in it, and you can get them from any different EPUBs, JPEG, EPUBs, PDFs, all those different types of books. You can put them on a Kobo. A lot of the other devices don't have that. So I would suggest that if you were to go get an e-reader, Kobo's the one to go. Right here, awesome. You can have lots of books through their system, and they're updating every day, all the time. So as I said, ebooks, e-readers, Kobo.